Okay, hello. Welcome to this video about the police state known as New Jersey. Okay, so, and this has to do with the Pine Barrens, then we'll kind of talk about some other stuff. We all know that Phil Murphy, back at the beginning of the pandemic, decided to close all the parks there was no science to support it, none at all, but he just felt like doing it because Phil Murphy is full of himself, and he thinks he's a dictator. NJOA cries foul of a wildlife management area. So after the parks were closed and then reopened, there was quietly some other areas that were closed because of budget cuts. So this article says the New Jersey Outdoor Alliance on Wednesday released a statement. Now this is from July 8th, all right? They closed some wildlife management areas because of budgetary constraints. Now wildlife management areas are not, I repeat, not really staffed with that. They aren't really staffed with that many people. They have to question Governor Murphy on what magic they picked to. So it's basically there was a furloughing of land management and other Fish and Wildlife Service workers. But they did actually have the money to actually have the police go in there, the state park police, and kick people out. Phil Murphy is just really out of control. Most of them have reopened. This lasted, I think, a couple of weeks, but there are still a few that aren't, including Parker's Pit, Malibu Beach, and Winslow East Ponds. So, and this is in the Pine Barrens, so obviously this is going to piss me off now, all right, because this is in the New Jersey Pine Barrens, and I believe this is the area that might be closed. This whole area. There's actually a blue hole here. It's very beautiful over here, but you can't. They're patrolling. They won't let people in. I'm not sure if this is the area or not. So if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But the fact that you just can't go into a wilderness area because Phil Murphy said so, I mean, is ridiculous. And some of the blame goes to people in New Jersey. Y'all are wimps because you should just overthrow him. I don't understand why you just can't overthrow him. I don't understand it. All you got to do is just get together, march down to where he lives in his block, and protest there every day. So this is the area I think that they have closed off. Because I'm not sure. I'm not 100% if this is the area, but it looks like a beautiful desert-like area. There's a blue hole in here, and it's in the Pine Barrens. And there were a number of other areas too that were in the Pine Barrens that were closed as well that have reopened, but there's still some that aren't open yet. I'm not sure if it's this spot here, but I mean, it's just there's no buildings here. What is closing them accomplish? Nothing. It's just because Phil Murphy said so. It's just because Phil Murphy said so, and this is why I don't want to have to go ever live in New Jersey. All right, New Jersey is, I don't know what it is with people in New Jersey, but they just have a record of picking some absolutely horrible governors. And no, Cuomo, people complain about Cuomo, but he's a saint compared to what the kind of scum they have sitting in the governor's offices in New Jersey. All right, so this is another thing that Phil Murphy's doing, because there's still no indoor dining in New Jersey. You believe this? They're going through the whole summer. New Jersey's like the only state in the whole country that won't allow indoor dining. And once again, there's not a mass defying. It's just a few places defying it, and this is exactly what happens. So I'll read this article to you here from WOBM. It says, the owner of an Ocean County diner that had been defiantly serving sit-down customers indoors since June was ordered by the state on Friday to close for a second time. Brian Brindisi opened his diner anyway for indoor dining and kept it open despite getting 10 summonses. Good for you! So he said the closure order was issued by the state health commissioner, Judith Pershelley, again. And then they tried to change the locks. Further steps to secure the premises and ensure the public safe by locking the doors for sale. Now this guy, he said, this is what the owner of the diner said. I told you guys, listen, I know you guys are police officers. You know what? I'm a veteran. We both took the same oath, and that oath never expires for me, just like it never expires for you. I understand you have a pension and you have to do your job, but this is my job. This is my pension. What gives you the right to take that away from me? I can't take it away from you. We give them an inch now, and we're never getting it back. It's gone forever. I'm not giving up. And he said his diner was very COVID compliant. They checked the temperatures of anyone going in. People were 6 feet apart. Masks were required. and less sitting down. They had, but Phil Murphy's a tyrant. He doesn't care. And the fact that people in New Jersey just go along with this, I mean, if everyone just got together and just said, we're opening up the dining rooms, if all the, I don't know how many restaurants there are in New Jersey, but probably millions. If everybody did it, there would be no way to stop it. But people in New Jersey are wimps and just go along with it. And there's just a few brave people like the people of this diner. Like I said, there's no science. There's no science behind any of this. So this is another article here, Ocean County from the Shore News Network. Sheriff's Department shuts down restaurant for serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And again, why does the Sheriff's Department have to go along with this? They could say, we're not going to do it. But again, they just go along with it. I don't know what it is with New Jersey. I don't know what it is with New Jersey. So Ocean County Sheriff's Department, Michael Mastrendi's department led the operation against the diner in Forked River. Ocean County should be ashamed of themselves. They should be ashamed of themselves for just going along. Remember, Ocean County closed their parks too. So, it's just, why do you think I don't want to live in Ocean County? Because it's a dictatorship, that's why. If you think Long Island is a dictatorship, go live in New Jersey, and you'll really see what a dictatorship is like. All right, Ocean County. Oh, gosh. This is what happens when I try to type when I'm looking at the screen at the same time. Can't even get their website up. But this is the site that closed the parks. These are your freeholders here. They're all communists. And a lot of them are Republicans, too. It doesn't matter, Republican, Democrat. They don't care about freedom. They don't care about liberty. And they don't care about people's right to do business, apparently. So, you have this going on here. Phil Murphy says you can't eat inside. Phil Murphy obviously wants you sitting out in the heat. He thinks that's fine. To sit out in the heat, deal with the flies. Now we're getting the yellow jackets coming out. And nobody should have this type of power. Nobody should. Nobody should have this kind of power. But again, why aren't people in New Jersey rising up and having a mass defiance? I don't understand what is wrong with people. How they just allow this to happen. Again, Phil Murphy would just be a paper tiger if everybody just disobeyed this. And if the governments in the county said, we're not going to enforce this. But they just all go along with it. Why are you afraid of this guy? Why are you afraid of him? He's a paper tiger. All right, okay, he's the governor. But he's not a dictator. He doesn't have a right to do any of the stuff he's doing. But again, people in New Jersey, they just, I don't know, they don't want to fight. But let's talk about the governor before Phil Murphy. Remember this guy? Closing the beaches and while he sat on the beach in Allen Park. Remember Chris Christie? I don't know, you people in New Jersey just have a knack of electing the most wonderful governors. Sarcastic. I mean, this guy was also full of it. Full of power. He thought he was a dictator. And then before him, you had Jim McGreevey. The guy who cheated on his wife with a guy. I don't know what it is with the state of New Jersey, but this is why you have such a lousy reputation and everybody hates you. All right, and it's not. I'm not. Look, I'm not. I don't want to start a problem with people in New Jersey. But if you want to be viewed as a state that's respected, you need to throw this guy out. And we can't wait till Election Day. You need to throw him out now. All right. Demand he step down. Take to the streets in Trenton. Millions of you. Come on. Defy his BS executive orders. All right. He has. If everybody just disobeyed this nonsense. You could, I mean, you should be allowed to eat inside a restaurant. What kind of nonsense is this? So there's my little rant on New Jersey for you. But I had to talk about New Jersey because, and it's hot there too. So let's see how hot it was in Toms River. Almost 90 degrees today. So why do you think I don't ever want to have to live in New Jersey? It's not just because it's hot there. It's because your government and the population just want to be ruled by dictators. Because if you sit there and take it, that sure sounds like what you want to be ruled by. This guy was a dictator. This guy was a dictator. I don't know. You just want dictators in your state, I guess. Look, I understand the need to stop the spread of COVID-19. I understand it. But closing the parks down, that doesn't do anything to stop it. closing the dining rooms and restaurants doesn't really do anything to stop it. We've had out indoor dining in New York for well over a month now, and there hasn't been a spike. Phil Murphy just decides a couple of days before it's supposed to start to cancel it, and everybody just says, "Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir." You people in New Jersey need to say, "No, sir." That's what you need to do. If you want to be viewed as a state that should be respected, then you need to start having some pride in yourselves, all right? Because you have no pride. You just let yourself be bossed around. And that's why your state is the laughingstock of this country and has been for years. So I'm sorry, New Jerseyans, but it had to be said. Thank you for watching.